We have reached and actually exceeded our Sunday school goal. Operation SSC 4000 was a success.
Well, we're going to be meeting at St. Stephen's on November 16th from 1 to 2:30 in room 303. It's our monthly free home buying seminar. We've been doing these since January of 2016. And the purpose of our seminars is to raise awareness and educate folks on home ownership. We're trying to get them off that rental treadmill, which is very true. There's a lot of folks who start renting and they don't get off that treadmill. They continue to rent, and those rent receipts add up. And not only do they add up, it does not create any equity. You're paying someone else's mortgage. We want you to be able to have that home ownership, that piece of the American pie. And we feel like through our seminars, we provide information that gets you prepared to own a home. So we want to remove some of the misconceptions and let you know how easy it might be to own a home.
My name is Curtis Owens, and I'm with the Louisville Homebuyer Community Initiative with my colleague,
O.C. Craig, and we're excited today to kind of share with you information about what our initiative is all about, and we're trying to make a difference within the community through home ownership. And we've been doing this now since January of 2016, and we have consistently done these on a monthly basis. And come this Saturday, November 16th, here at St. Stephen's in room 303 from 1 o'clock to 2:30. We'd love for you to come out and get information and be informed of how to get yourself prepared for home ownership and why that's so important. Curtis, let them know why it's important.
Well, it's important simply because we want people to be able to understand that home ownership is a value to the community. It's a value to individuals, and it's a value because it's a way that you can build wealth. It's a way to build wealth. It's a way to have ownership, to be able to have pride of ownership, and these things are very important. And I'm gonna go back and recap what I talked about last week, if you don't mind, just briefly. Last week we talked about some of the barriers to home ownership in the Black community, and what we found was that there was a situation in which home ownership was not made available for Black Americans because there was FHA created some situations to increase home ownership, but in the process they did drew a line around the Black community and did a thing called redlining. So home ownership was not available to the entire community. So there was the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s that Black Americans did not have access to home ownership. So in the 60s, 1965, by the way, FHA became HUD, and HUD began to do some things that were positive. The Fair Housing Act was passed in 1968, so then that made it housing available for everyone. But in 1968, home ownership for Black Americans was 42%, and at 2006 it boomed up to 46%, which is still not a great number, but it was at 46%. The mortgage crisis hit and it plummeted to 41.6%. Today, I'm sad to report that home ownership for Black Americans is 40.6%, which is totally unacceptable. If that was the situation in the aggregate, it would be a chaos. It is a tragedy, and it's a tragedy right now in the Black community. So we have to do something about home ownership. We want all people to be able to buy homes, but we know it's a tragic situation taking place right now in Black America. Wealth is built. From the 30s, 40s, and 50s, there was a generational wealth that could have been built to send kids to college, to be able to own businesses, to be able to have generational wealth to be passed on to the next generation. All those things were denied, the wealth in all those years. And it's predicted from the Sheba report, which NAREB put out the Sheba report, the State of Housing in Black America. It's reported that the wealth of Black community will be in 2050 for zero wealth in the community. Now, how do we build wealth? One of the best ways to build wealth is through homeownership. And that's why we tout homeownership. We want everyone to be able to purchase a home and to live that American dream and to build wealth and to be able to acquire that. And I talked about what equity was last week. Equity is the difference between what you own your house and the value of the house, which is real money. You buy a house $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year, which is $96,000 in 10 years, which is $190-something thousand in 20 years. So that money goes to rent or to you. It goes to you if you're buying a house. It goes to rent if you're working with a landlord. So that's why it's important.
That's very important information to understand, guys, that if you are renting today, what we're trying to do through our initiative is to create that hope that you can own a home. And that's really where, your best investment in yourself is through home ownership. Obviously, if you're working every day and you need a roof over your head and you're paying rent, we're going to show you how to restructure paying rent and put that into ownership. And that's where that wealth can be created. We can start with the very basic foundation of understanding of the difference of rent compared to home ownership. And so through our seminars, what we do is we try to provide you with a roadmap to prepare you for that home ownership. As I mentioned in a podcast a couple of weeks ago, what we're trying to do and get you prepared is that if we remove some of the misconceptions, if you don't feel like you're ready, we want to give you a roadmap that will prepare you for home ownership. And if you never get on that roadmap, then you're going to get on that rental treadmill that we talk about all the time. You can go fast, you can go slow. Doesn't make any difference what speed you go, you're not getting anywhere. So what we're wanting to do is through these 90-minute free home buying seminars, we will provide you information from all industry professionals, everyone associated with helping you from stage one to the final stage of home ownership and closing on your first home. We're going to give you that roadmap. And I think once you have that better understanding of what it takes to get there, you may be pleasantly surprised that it's possible and it's attainable. And then that's where that wealth begins. And then you can start to talk about another level of investing in yourself, because when you create that wealth and you create equity, it may open the door for you to start your own business and things of that nature. But where it really starts, first of all, is in your financial DNA. We want to make sure you understand how important it is, first of all, to have credit and to utilize it properly, because what that does is it opens doors for you for so many other areas. But home ownership is still, for us, from an investment standpoint, I think it's priority. And owning a piece of the American pie of home ownership, it's monumental. And we've mentioned it so many times in our seminars, Curtis, and we talk about how different you will treat something that you own compared to something that you don't. Mm-hmm. And through home ownership, it's it's priority to understand that difference and understanding of ownership.
Yes. In our seminars, and we're not going to give you everything today. We want people to come out to the seminar. So, but I'm going to let you know that we have some fantastic seminars. We have fantastic speakers at our seminars. We've got some guys that I just love to sit back and enjoy. Nobody ever leaves early at one of our seminars. They stay until the end because it is so much impactful information. It's so good for just an hour and a half time. You get so many dynamic speakers in all the areas of purchasing a home. And I'm gonna go through the process of how you purchase a home, and you'll see the areas that we go through in our seminar. We follow that pattern in our seminar. One of the things you want to do is you want to make sure when you purchase a home, you want to get a realtor. And the reason you want to get a realtor, first of all, what is a realtor? A realtor is a person that belongs to the National Association of Realtors and follows a strict code of ethics. Now, once you get a realtor, and you want to get your own realtor, you go on a sign and see who the realtor is on the sign of a house that you're interested in, but that realtor is working for who? The seller. So you may as well get your own realtor. It doesn't cost you anything. The seller usually pays for the realtor. So it doesn't cost you anything. You could choose your own realtor. If you were getting a divorce, You wouldn't use your spouse's attorney, I don't think. So why would you want to use somebody else's realtor? You can get your own, and for free at that. So that's kind of important. And once you get a realtor, we can navigate you through the process, all the paperwork and we do it all the time, so we can navigate you through the process. And what we'll do is we'll get you with OC. OC will get you pre-approved. If you need some credit counseling, we got people can do that too, get you ready credit-wise. Once you're ready, OC pre-approves you. He sends you to me. I meet you at my office. We meet at the office. We look at homes. I find out what you're interested in, what you're trying to do. We find your home on the multiple listing system, which is a website that realtors have. And once we found you some homes that you like, we go out and do a tour of homes. That's the fun part. That's what everybody likes to do, is go and look at houses. So we go and tour the homes. Once we find one you like, we make an offer. Once that offer is accepted by the seller, and we may have to negotiate some, but once it's accepted by the seller, then that becomes a contract. We get that contract, take it to OC. OC takes that contract, he does his magic, and creates a loan for that particular property. And while he's doing that, we're making sure we get a home inspection done. You got insurance on the property, but you don't have to worry about all that because we're taking care of that for you. We're navigating you through the process. And then once that's done, OC will call me and he tells me the magic words, and I love when it rolls off his mouth. He says, we have a CTC, which means that's a clear to close, and we're ready to close on the property. At that point, we'll get with the closing attorney and we'll close on the property. You get the keys at the table and you own a home. And so it's only two things I always tell everybody. We're going to give you a plethora of information at the home buying seminar, but there's only two things that you really have to remember, and that is go see your OC, get pre-approved, and get with your realtor. And we navigate you through the entire process.
And by the way, Curtis just mentioned, there's a key word he just mentioned, magic. I'm gonna tell you, I don't wave a magic wand. The magic is all about you guys, because if you are very interested in getting into home ownership and getting off that rental treadmill, the magic is really all about your approach, your excitement, your initiative to find out where you are and allow us to put our arms around you and help you. You know, we've done this for a long time. The 4 committee members that's a part of Louisville Home Buyer Community Initiative, combined, we have over 115 years of experience. We're here to help, guys, and none of us get paid unless we help you get where you're going. So we have the motivation to help you through those hurdles, through those pitfalls, and getting prepared is a part of that. You know, it's like anything else, you know, a lot of things come with instructions. So if you've never been through this process, you don't have the instructions. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to provide you the instructions that's specific to your financial situation and what your goals are. So we know what we do on a regular, but what we want to do is allow us to help you through those instructions and create that roadmap, as I mentioned to you. Because if we get all your questions answered, if we see where you are specifically, Curtis just mentioned that I get people pre-qualified, which is a free service. There's no cost to get pre-qualified. That pre-qualification answers a lot of questions about you. And you'd be surprised. We've had, over the last almost 4 years, several people that never thought that they could own a home come to one of our seminars and pleasantly surprised that they were ready before now. They just needed someone to tell them that. And a part of what we do is, like I said, we create that hope. And through that hope, we hope that transform into you taking that initiative to find out where you are. Now, if you're not ready, just like Curtis said, we have every industry professional at these seminars. And he mentioned credit repair. Probably the number one thing that keeps people out of home ownership is their credit rating. And I think you have to understand how credit works, understand the importance of having good credit. And I've said this in my first podcast a couple of weeks ago. You don't have to have perfect credit to buy a home, guys. So that's one thing we want to make sure you're clear and understand. And then also, too, the second one is you don't need a ton of money to buy a home. We got so many programs out there. Kentucky Housing Corporation has an ongoing down payment assistance. Kentucky Housing is the largest first-time home buying organization in the state of Kentucky. And they're putting hundreds, literally thousands of people in homes every year. So you just need to know where you fit in and allow us to help you get there. And then lastly, I will mention this before I pass this up. Come early spring, come early March, every year, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, Federal Home Loan Bank provides grant money for buyers. And that money is coming around the corner very quickly. We only have 6 weeks left in 2019. We want you to get prepared. We want you to get in line. This is a $5,000 grant that you can use toward purchasing your own home. So when I go back to tell you, you don't need a lot of money, we've got the tools, we've got products and grant money to add to all of this to go with your DNA so we can show you how to become a homeowner and get off that rental treadmill.
Yeah, we're very excited about home ownership, as you can tell. I've been doing this for 27 years. I think OC's been doing it for 32 years. We've been at this for a long time, and this is our ministry. This is what we do. We want people to be homeowners. We want them to be able to create a wealth, and we want to be able to increase and strengthen the community through home ownership. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of communities that are rental communities, and we want to turn those communities into homeowner communities. And so that's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what we do with our seminars. And like OC said, this is our third year.
Almost four years.
Well, fourth year.
Finish up
doing home ownership seminars every month. So we do this every month, and it's not a hit or miss. We do this every month because we want to create homeowners. We have great speakers. We have someone speaking on budgeting. We have a realtor speak. We have a mortgage person speak. We have an insurance person speak. A home inspector. We have a closing attorney to speak, and we have all those things built into 1 hour and a half. We get it all in an hour and a half. It's valuable information, very valuable information. And I want to thank Sharon Bell for giving us this opportunity to give you this information. And we're excited about being here and being able to give you this information. But homeownership is our mission. We have a program with NARAB called House Then Car. Now, what's significant about that is a lot of people buy a car and it keeps them from buying a house. So we're trying to catch them, nip it in the bud before it happens, especially with millennials that's just starting out. Get the house first, then the car. You can always get the car, but if you get the car first, you may not be able to get the house.
That's right.
So we say, don't get your Land Rover before you get some land.
Absolutely.
We want you to have some land to put your Land Rover on. And so House Then Car is a program that we're promoting with National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So OC, anything else you want to do before I turn it over?
Let me add one more thing, because I already talked about Kentucky Housing and down payment assistance. I just talked about Federal Home Loan Bank with Welcome Home Money that's coming up in March. And we're knocking on the door of a new year ending. And of course, everyone gets excited about January when the W-2s come out because they're ready to file taxes, because most Americans have more money in their hands at the tax season. So again, we want to catch you during this significant time, because this could be a three-way win for you. You potentially could qualify for down payment assistance through Kentucky Housing Corporation. They have up to $6,000 you can get. Then Welcome Home Money, you couple that with a $5,000 Welcome Home grant. We're up to $11,000. And if you are accustomed to getting refunds back at tax time, stop and think about the wealth that you have in your hand that could change your whole perspective of where you're going financially and investing in yourself through home ownership. It is the best time for you to come in on this Saturday. Again, that's November 16th here at St. Stephen's in room 303 from 1 to 2:30. And we're going to give you a lot of great information from great industry professionals to prepare you for that first step toward home ownership, guys. And I'm here to tell you, if anybody who's hearing us today interested in home ownership, I promise you, it's going to be worth your 90 minutes to come in on Saturday, get that information, and allow us to put our arms around you, because just like you said, it's not anything magical. It's really just about your initiative. But what this is, the M word is, it's a ministry, because it is a blessing when we go to a closing and help someone who didn't think they could own a home get to that closing table. They get the keys, the deed, and with every payment they make, they don't get just a rent receipt. They're creating equity for themselves and their family, and they can create a legacy, because homes are willable. Something happens to you, you got kids or grandkids, you can pass that down. And so it's an incredible opportunity to allow us to help you towards your goals and that American dream of home ownership.
We're not going to give you everything today.
No.
'Cause we want you to come out to the seminar.
That's it.
The seminar, November the 16th, this coming Saturday at 1 o'clock to 1:30 p.m.
2:30.
To 2:30 p.m. Excuse
That's
me.
correct.
Thank you. 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. In room 303 at St. Stephen Family Life Center. We want you to be there. If you're not interested in becoming a homeowner now, you may know someone that is, and invite them out. Invite them to come out because
Absolutely.
we're excited about this. We've sold hundreds and hundreds of homes, but we want to sell many more because we know there's a need to build up home ownership in this community, and we want to make that happen. So come on out to the seminar, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great day. See you Saturday.